si G. Tanji, ang bagong henerasyon ng mga sumusuporta at naniniwala na importanteng turuan ang mga kabataan tungkol sa ating makulay na kultura. Pareho pong mga Bruin itong makakasama natin mula sa UCLA. Proud ako. Kasama natin si Sharina De Jesus, who's currently the co-president of the Filipino Cultural School, together with my dear friend Paulo Roca. She works as a peer counselor for Samahang Filipino Education and Retention at UCLA. At kasama niya si George Preno, who's currently working as a victim service coordinator for JM Staffing and is stationed with the Los Angeles City Attorney Victim Assistance Program with their underserved victims of the LGBT unit. Thank you for being here, George and Sharina. I just had the wonderful opportunity to speak to Tita Dolly, to Tita Lita, and to Tita Malu, and how they've grown Filipino Cultural School. But this legacy is not going to continue unless you guys come to the table and take over, which you have very well done. So let's talk about this. I know, Sharina, you were a student at 3 years old? Well, how old were you?
I was a student in 2003, so I was 9.
Okay, you were 9 years old.
Yes.
How was that experience for you back then?
Yes, I still remember everything with such vivacity. Like, it was very vivid for me. Tita Lita was actually my first teacher, and she talked about Bahay Kubo, and that was the first song she taught me. So while she was talking about it, I was kind of tearing up a little bit. But it was strange in a good way. It was the first place where there were so many Filipinos to me, and I had never been exposed to that amount, all my age, and learning about things we had never learned in school before. And everything I learned, I took it with me throughout the year. I was always just so excited for FCS, and I loved it so much. I thought it was so much fun.
So you did this every summer, starting from the time you were how old to what age?
So I was a student from 2003 to about 2008 or 9, and in 2010 and 11 I taught dance. So they promoted me to dance teacher.
So you really were part of this community. Did you see the same kids over and over again?
I saw the same kids and then some new ones, and it was always a different feel every single year, always something different. And I really grew up with the program, and it's really close to my heart. So.
And now you are serving as the vice co-president. How does that feel?
It's crazy because thinking back when you're 9 years old, you don't think anything of it. You know, when that was almost 12 years ago.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Be running the school one day.
Yeah, I had no idea. It's unbelievable.
Okay, well, George, you are part of this school as well. Share with us the passion you have and why it's important for you personally to promote this school.
So I'm fairly new to the program. I got into it last year, so I wasn't growing up with it. And when I grew up, I wasn't really exposed to the culture. I was only exposed to the culture when I was at UCLA with their Filipino organizations, and that's where I met Paulo. And then right after I graduated in 2013, he said, hey, come join this school. Come volunteer, maybe you can teach a little bit. And I said, I'm not doing anything in the summer, sure.
Was that a life-changing experience for you, being around the younger generation of Filipinos that, just like you, are sort of trying to understand what it means to be Filipino in America?
Yeah, that's what kept me going with it after I volunteered, because when I was growing up, I sort of wasn't exposed to the culture, and I had a really lost of identity of who I was. And here are these students coming in, and they're saying, wow, I didn't know that about myself. Wow, I didn't know that about my parents, because we'll go to them, and when you're a kid, you don't ask where your parents come from usually, and we say, you know, as an assignment last year for the history assignment, we said, go ask about how they came to America, and all these cool stories were coming out. And
this is so amazing. I want to hear all about the stories. When we return on Kababayan Today, they have an event. They're celebrating their 50th year. We'll learn all about it. We have to support this. It's so important for our community. We'll be right back with Sharina and George here on Kababayan Today.